Hey, this is Danny from Weird and Wired, and to kick off 2021, I want to share with you the last guitar I built of 2020, and here it is. I have affectionately dubbed this Scraps because that is what this is made out of. As I was finishing off a lot of the projects that I've had lately, I just kept finding myself looking at these different parts and trying to get an idea for, how can I use this? Or just sitting on it waiting for something to come out at me. And then this body was the key component to all of this. I love the body so much, and it is so incredibly light. This was donated to me by my good friend Mr. Will Day, who does some absolutely remarkable stuff with guitars himself, and he actually made this body out of a bit of scrap wood, and it's so incredibly light. It feels, and you can see the texture of it, it's a bit like a pub garden bench. At least it is in my mind. And he's done this really cool colour finish and the texture to it, which I believe was inspired by the Jim Root guitars as of late, with the red-black kind of looks to me like a horror movie, maybe a bleeding tree. And I mean, it's just wonderful. I love it so much, and the Jag-stang shape as well. Can't get enough of that. And I've been wanting to do something with this body in particular, and I was thinking of, hey, maybe I can get like a metal sign horror movie poster, make a pickguard out of that. But I just couldn't really get the ball rolling with any ideas which came to mind. And then I think I pulled the body out, pulled this neck out as well, which has just been sitting there waiting to be used as well. Kind of put them together, and I was like, hey, that looks pretty cool. And then I just dug out all these other bits that each time I'm pulling out the drawers and reaching for something, I'm always moving the same things aside and thinking, I'll come round to using that, or I'm probably never going to use that. So I got kind of the, the reject parts, for lack of a more affectionate term for them all, because there's nothing wrong with them. It's just I'm sure you know what it's like sometimes, whether you're kind of in the kitchen, you're throwing the ingredients to one side, or you're writing a song and I ain't going to use that chord anytime soon. Just all these parts, put them together, and in about 2 hours I was looking back and I'd made this. And it just goes to show sometimes that you can sit down, you can try hash out ideas, and other times the great inspiration can strike just by doing. I mean, all I did was get these parts out, and then it just sort of built itself. I mean, I don't really remember where the ideas came. It was a lot of kind of first idea, hey, yeah, let's roll with that. Like the pickup is wired straight to the jack on this because I didn't really have any potentiometers, any volume knobs that I really wanted to kind of donate to the cause here. So I thought, hey, you know what, just straight to the jack. And that was it. So like that, just kind of going with the first idea and a lot of stuff, just screwing the pickup in place. The bridge is half of a Les Paul bridge and tailpiece, and just used it as a wraparound tailpiece on this, which is something I've been thinking of a lot lately. So obviously my subconscious pushed itself forward and forced me to act upon these ideas which are nestling in the back of my mind. And to use the action properly, I've just well, firstly, it's held in place. It's got some ferrules here taken from what would be on your machine head, using neck screws straight into the body, and a couple washers one side on the higher strings and just a single washer on the lower end, just to give it the right action. And amazingly, I call this thing Scraps, and I say it's all the reject parts, but they work perfectly together. And that's why, I mean, it took 2 hours, and I was just kind of like, how has this built itself like this? And it's just one of those things where aesthetically it all fits the body, having such a freak guitar bridge, coverless single coil pickup wired straight to a jack with everything exposed, going for a little bit of a kind of Eddie Van Halen, Frankenstein kind of theme, I think, with that. And all these tuning pegs are, I think 2 of them are the same. Other than that, none of them match. I got a gold one on there, which I've had this tuning peg on different guitars as a replacement piece for at least 10 years now. and I just like putting it along with silver ones because it's like a gold tooth. I think someone said that to me, and it's something that's stuck. So I just like the idea of, yeah, if you're going to replace it, why not make it so outlandishly and obviously replaced, because it's character. You're dinging your guitar and it's got some personality now. But maybe not. I think in this case, the more personality, the better. And it just strung up with some slinky, some gauge 9 strings, and I think with how light this body is and the way the bridge is fixed on there, it just seems to settle itself really nicely in D flat standard, which is a fair bit lower than your standard tuning. But again, in terms of how this has just put itself together, it's now, I've been playing this, and because it's such a different tuning to what I would normally just by standard just go and pick up a guitar and play, makes me think in a different way as well, when I'm kind of like little tunes come out of this, little riffs and fills, and it's just one of those good things. It's certainly kind of reignited some aspects of kind of guitar building and playing as well, which they're kind of always there, but sometimes we need to be reminded of these things. And so as we're kicking in to 2021, I gonna nominate all of you to do the Weird and Wired Scraps Challenge. Whatever it is, you ain't got to build a guitar. Maybe you just throw some chords together and you make a song, or throw some ingredients together and cook up something good. Throw your paints together and see what comes out of it, because you might be impressed, you might be amazed, and you equally might be disappointed, but I highly doubt you're going to be disappointed, because hey, it's all part of the creative process, and it's just, I mean, what else are you going to do? You can either do it or you can not do it, and I think out of the two, it's probably more rewarding to do something than it is to do nothing. So with that being said, I'm going to quit my jibber jabber. I'm going to let you hear how Scraps sounds for himself.